show, it's Friday, which means we're going to be heading out for a road game. So we're going to be heading out to Kansas City. I leave tomorrow for a Monday night matchup. It's going to be a big one. And I have none other than the best folks to break down this football team with me. These are diehard fans right here who are thick and thin. Right now it's kind of thin, but we're going to talk about how it can get thick real quick. So let's break it down. What's up, everybody? How is everyone doing?
What's good?
Hey, what's going on?
All right. We got a shout out, Crossover Meats, for making this thing happen too. Appreciate them for being part of what we're building here with these great fans of the Burgundy and Gold. I'm going to start off by telling you guys this week at practice was probably the most energetic I've seen this group since never this season. I mean, you could tell that Coach Quinn has told these guys that we need to get the energy up, got to get these fast starts. They haven't done that. And literally you could see the energy level was back to, it was similar to last year's practices. It really was. So will that translate over to Kansas City? We're going to find out. But I do feel much better about what I've seen and from what I've heard from some of the guys in the locker room. So I do want to get your take on, we go through this every week, your anxiety level. I want to know, how do you feel about this team going into Kansas City? Do you feel like it's something that can't happen? Like there's no way they can go into Kansas City Chiefs? Or do you feel like this team has a legitimate chance to do that? Because before we start with you, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm looking at this game as last year's Cincinnati game. This is the game that if they can do the impossible, it could turn around this season and get them back in the talk of, one of these teams that everyone thinks has a legitimate chance to get into the playoffs and do some damage. So with that said, let's go ahead and fire it up. And then I'll give you my hypothetical when we're halfway through our first part of this. So Abdul, you're up first. What's going on, brother?
Oh, nothing much. So what, you want me to talk about this game or the past game?
No. We you know what? For the sake of today's show, I mean, do we really need to talk about the last game?
Nah, okay. All right.
That was just an abysmal effort, an abysmal performance. I was in Dallas just dreading everything. Everything was just the cheerleaders out on the field. It was sickening. So I don't want to go through that again. So let's talk about the game that's coming up. And I just want to get you guys as far as, what do you feel? Do you feel like this is a daunting task that's like it just can't happen, they're not going to beat the Chiefs? Or do you feel like they have a legitimate chance if they come to play football?
All right. So, I mean, I think there's always a chance, right? There's always a chance. I think that what this game is going to be is more so like, all right, what does it look like when having Terry and Debo on the field simultaneously with the experience that McCaffrey and Jalen Lane have acquired, right? So I'm not going into this game necessarily saying, oh, we're going to win or going to lose, but it's just more so like, all right, is there going to be an improvement on the offense and on the defensive end? And then see how that translates into like future games. So it's more so that for me.
Okay, good stuff. All right, Brad in Detroit. What's up, Brad?
What's up, family? Ebony, welcome. Well, anything is possible, right? Anybody can be beat on any given Sunday. My thing is the defense, because Kansas City gonna test them, and so I just want to see what this defense is gonna do, because we've been getting punched in the face consistently, and none of them, unless they just bombs, you don't want to just consistently just get punched in the face and not do nothing back. And I don't think Quinn is going to allow that, though. So I'll agree with Abdul. I don't want to say a win or a lose, but I just got to see something out of this defense. I'm more so worried about the defense than I am the offense, because I think the offense will just come and play if Cliff runs the ball, but that defense just show me something.
Yeah. I agree with you on all of those. I agree with both of you so far. This is one of those games that I look at the Chiefs offense. Kansas City is one of those offenses that as potent as they are, they're not necessarily the big plays. They just dissect you down the field over and over and over. 10 yards here, 9 yards there. And yes, they do have all their weapons back, so they could have the explosives. But this is one of those games that could be tailor-made for the defense in the fact that you're not giving up the explosives, but you do have to have more discipline now because Kansas City's going to spread them out, and you don't know who's going to get the ball. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes can see everything out there. So with Rice back and Hollywood Brown and everyone, Isaiah Worthy, I mean, they're going to spread this defense out and test it, but hopefully they can keep everything in front of them and it'll give them a chance. So obviously there's more to talk about. We'll go through that, but let's get everyone else on here. Got Brad Savage up next. What's up, Brad?
What's going on, everybody? For me, I agree with everybody that spoke so far. I think the Kansas City offense seems to spread people out horizontally more than vertically, which is what Dallas did, and I think that bodes better for us. I think the game plan is kind of similar to Dallas, where it's like we need a couple of stops. I don't need a big defensive route. I just need a couple of stops, and the offense has to keep the ball and go on drives and keep it away out of Mahomes' hands. That's how I feel like our best way to win this game is. And I think it's achievable, but we have to be disciplined because Kansas City, to me, is the most disciplined team in the league. So we have to be equally as disciplined. So it warms my heart to hear that you said practice has been energetic and spirits are up because that's exactly what we're gonna need to be successful in this game.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. I'll share some of the comments the guys have told me this week after everyone goes through, but it definitely makes me feel better traveling there because I'm not gonna lie to you. It's getting to the point where we're like, damn, we got to travel again this week. Like makes the travel longer, but the things that we've heard, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, it's kind of uplifting, to be honest with you. So we'll see if it translates onto the field. All right. So Brandon, what's going on, Brandon?
What's up, fam? Just to echo everything that I think BJ said, Brad Jones was saying. I mean, honestly, I think the offense can get it done. I really do. My girlfriend's calling this the Marcus Mariota trap game. That's the way she's thinking.
Whatever it needs to be to get the dub. I don't care
whatever it is, right? But I mean, dude, the thing that just worries me the most is the defense. But I am excited for McGee going out there. That's exciting because he's fast. He's explosive, and we need that. We need that thing. So I hope my hope is we can get some stops on Mahomes. I know he's tough. He's a beast, and the guy we just got to look out for, man. They cannot leave Kelsey in the flats all alone. But somehow he gets there. That's just Travis Kelsey. But whatever. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I just hope the defense can put it together and stop these guys. And I feel the same way you feel, like about this could be the turning point, like the Cincy game. So.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, Eric, you're up.
What's going on? Yeah, it's been interesting. I think this is where you'll find out how this team, if they want it, they're just going to lay down. And I think body language is a big thing because if you're not, the thing is the NFL, if you don't come show up to play, I mean, you're not going to win. I mean, as long as the guys come out, they play tough, they play hard like they want it. Hopefully it comes in our way. But yeah, I don't know why it took almost 8 weeks now for them to start implementing some of these fast guys that they have on their team, even like Tyler Owens. I don't know why we don't see him. He's an athletic freak. Like, don't make it
a little bit.
Don't make it easier for the opposing team when you got guys out there that just ain't getting to the ball quick enough.
Right.
But I hope they get creative on defense, putting Lou out on the edge, maybe space some guys out, give them something different, and we just play fast and hard. And as long as we play clean, because when this team plays clean, they take care of the ball, they do pretty good. But when we've lost, we've turned it over and played careless. So I just hope they come in it and just believe they can win and the season ain't over.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Gerard's up. What's up, Gerard?
Hello, how you doing, Lake? Good to see you.
Good to see you.
All right, this is where I'm at. I'm a little bit different, but the same from everybody. I'm a realist in life. The offense coming into this year is supposed to have been our strongest unit.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, they kind of haven't been. The defense has been bad. The defense got a lot of issues. You know, Joe Witt. You guys hear me talk about the linebackers, Bobby Wagner. Y'all hear all of this. But we asked for the defense to give us some stops. In my opinion, and I was at the Chicago game, the Dallas game, our defense gave us some stops. We always start off slow with our offense. They supposed to be our bread and butter, the offense. I understand we hurt with Terry a little bit, Debo, this and that. We start off, 10 zip, 13, 16 zip. The defense gets some stops. The offense just don't give us no points.
Yeah.
I'm 50-50. I'm 50 upset a little bit with the offense and the defense going forward. The only chance I give us to taking care of Kansas City, we got to play all phases of the game, offense and defense the same. That last game, I just got to say this to you. That Dallas game, we didn't score. The offense didn't score until almost, a minute and something left. And then they let Dallas offense score in 45 seconds. But we haven't scored since early part of the first quarter. So, and the defense had plenty of stops against the number one powered offense in the league. But our offense just did not produce. And then our offense put our defense in hard situations with critical turnovers at times. So it's a little tough. I'm with everybody, but the offense still got to step up too, especially when that's supposed to be your strongest unit. So where I'm at going forward, like I said before we started, I hope we can win one out of the next two, and then I still got a good one out of the next three. I mean, then I still feel pretty good about our season. I love my boys. I hope they can get it together, but I need the offense and the defense both to click and do their jobs consistently for early in the game.
Okay, that's a great point. And I think one of the things that I've noticed just from watching the tape and stuff over the last couple of days of, especially the Dallas game, didn't really want to go there, but this team isn't playing complementary football, and that's the problem.
That's what I'm
Because
saying.
offensively, they're getting over 20 points. And in a lot of games, they scored enough to be able to win. Technically, from the point standpoint, you're right. And I agree with you, Gerard, on that. They're scoring at times where defense comes back out, gives up points right away. Defense gets some stops. Offense doesn't capitalize off the defense. They're not, and then they miss some timely field goals this year. The one that doinked off the goalpost against Chicago. I mean, those are the things that you have to have them. You have to have stops. You have to have the offense be able to at least, come away with 3 points on some drives. And they're not doing that. So the complementary football that this team, and I hate to keep going back to last year because it's a different group of guys. It's a different mindset. I know Coach Quinn doesn't like us referencing last year often because it's this year. But when you look at the similarities and the lack of similarities between these teams, they're obvious. What's the difference? The energy level's one. That quote unquote brotherhood that used to see on Sundays, on Monday nights, we haven't seen it. It looks almost at times like they're disinterested. They're not interested with what's going on. There's times, me being at the games, I'm looking at the body language on the sidelines. One of the things that jumped out to me, and we'll keep going on for everyone after this, one of the things that I saw last week in Dallas was, I don't know if you guys could see it on television, but we were looking at it from the press box, and a couple of us were like, wow, they might really be here today, because everyone was hugging each other before, they kicked off. I mean, like on the sidelines, everyone was going up to each other, hugging each other. You could see like, okay, now they got some energy. Like 5 plays into it, you saw guys sitting down on the sidelines, like not talking, standing apart. And that's not what we saw last year. It was communication going on all the way through. So, not to say too much, because there's a lot that I'm going to tell you here after everyone goes. But from the coaching side of it, I know for a fact that Coach Quinn got involved this week. let's just put it there. You're going to see a different look come Monday night. Okay, so we'll hopefully that makes you feel a little better, Gerard.
Yes, it does. It does.
All right. Okay. So we got Ebony on. What's going on, Miss Ebony? I'm glad
I'm
you
good.
link on there, so we got you back.
Welcome.
Yeah. I
Uh-oh.
think they can beat them
Mm-hmm.
if they really put their mind.
Okay. Yeah, you're kind of breaking
If they
up.
really put them. If they really put their mind to it,
Mm-hmm.
they can beat Kansas City. Because any team can be beaten if
Mm-hmm.
they really focus and do what they need to do to win the game and not let distractions get in the way with the game while it's going on or after the game or before the game.
Okay. Okay. So Ebony, you're kind of breaking up on us a little bit there. So we'll get back to you, for sure. We'll get her squared away. She might be in the car. Okay. So let's go to Oscar. Okay. What's going on, Oscar?
Good, Lake. Good to see everyone. Good to see you, Lake. Well, I actually agree with everyone almost, but still the defense is a bigger concern than the offense to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I also agree with Gerard, like the offense has to step up and get into the rhythm, earlier in the game. And I totally agree with him. It's great to win one out of the next 2 or 3 because it's a tough schedule. We're gonna play the Seahawks, then Detroit Lions, then the Madrid game, and we got the bye week. It's a tough schedule compared to last year, but I'm still hopeful. We'll see. And I want Terry and Debo healthy on the field, hopefully this week.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. Shauna, what's going on, brother?
Happy fan day, everybody. Definitely they could be beat. They have 3 losses, if I'm not mistaken. And I know those were early on, and now they're kind of clicking. They got some people returning off of injury and that kind of thing. But everyone has a plan till you get punched in the mouth, as Mike Tyson said. So we got to go out there and punch him in the mouth. We have to keep Patrick on the sideline. We have to move the ball. We have to look like a well-oiled machine, which is difficult when we have interchanging parts or, I don't think we played a game where all starters were there. So that's difficult. So I get that, but we have to adjust. I'm a little disappointed. I'm happy, like to hear that it sounds like it's going to be a coaching change or scheme change. You're going to get it more simplified so that some guys can get out there and get fast and hopefully get to the ball. Front 4 have to put pressure on Mahomes. If not, we don't stand a chance. So we have to kind of treat them the way the Eagles did in the Super Bowl and not give him a chance to where he just doesn't know what's coming at him, from what angles, what have you. It's possible. I wouldn't put any money on it. Well, not to speak about betting. My bad. But I like to see us be more assertive, like last year. Let's go for some 4th down. Let's try to make, like I said, keep Mahomes on the sideline. I know we press for time, so I don't want to be too long-winded, but nice to see everybody.
All right, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, we got Miss Sheila. Miss Sheila still with us? Oh, she's not there right now. We'll get back if she comes back. And I have Willis. What's going on, Willis?
Hey, fam. Sorry I've missed you the last few weeks, and sorry I hopped in late today. What is our question? Just so I'm making sure I'm not rambling off point.
Oh, it's just your thoughts on the Kansas City game. Do you feel like it's a game that can be had? That they can win if they show up and play the type of ball that we all hope that they can show up and do.
Well, I mean, Ebony was right on the point. I mean, right on the money, because any team can be beat any week, and if we just show up, that will be in our best interest. But I'm not really that confident, to be honest with you. I mean, I am going to watch this game out of like I'm going to the zoo or something. I just want to see the exhibit. I'm so concerned about our defense right now. The safeties are just not the guys that we need. I can't see another Quan Martin whiff the way that I've seen the last few weeks. I mean, that just I'm losing hair when I see that, and it's just not okay. And I think our defense is going to be a little bit better than it was last week, but that's not saying much because that was an abomination. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, I think it's clock management. We need to have our offense on that field as long as freaking possible, and let's learn from previous mistakes. Let's not score too quickly. Let's make sure that we are actually using that clock to the full advantage that we can use it. And we might come out with a win.
Okay. All right. And then Miss Sheila's back. There she is. There she is. What's going on, Miss Sheila?
I have no more comments today, right now. I'm gonna be quiet because I've been trying to be encouraging, and everybody's like. So before you came on, I'm gonna stick with trying to be encouraged about it all. That's it. Because I was deadly disappointed, but I'm gonna keep my mind focused on we're gonna do this.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Look, that's the way you got.
I'm with her.
That's the way you got to approach it. That's anything in life. You know, you gotta give it your all. If you don't give it your all, then the results should be what you get, right? So,
right.
So, real quick before moving on to the next subject, we have to get turnovers. If we don't get turnovers, we don't stand a chance.
No, not at all. And I totally agree with you. So I will say this. You guys know I love to be able to tell you stuff that I know, but there's certain things I can't tell you. I'm trying to figure out how to preface this. Let me just say this. Spoke to some of the younger guys specifically, and I'm not going to say their names, you know, because it's not supposed to be out like that. But the put it like this: if you ever watched the show Martin, you know, he had that show Word on the Street. So word on the street is that some of these younger guys are getting ready to start getting their opportunities. Okay.
Cool.
Not saying to the tune of 30, 40 reps a game, but it could be 7 reps, it could be 10 reps, but they're reps where you'll see the speed utilized. And, you know, if you put 2 and 2 together, you already know where I'm going with this. At certain positions, you're going to see some guys that can run. On the back end, you're going to see some guys that can run. And, you know, I think that it's key to say this. In fairness to some of them not having been on the field, it's because the retaining the playbook, you know, some of it has been a challenge for them. Okay. I think I can say these things. But I have been saying, and I've been beating the horn and saying to guys at practice, at the facility, you don't need them to have 40 reps. You don't need them to know the whole playbook, but they have to be able to know a little bit that they can get out there and help some of these guys. Because let's face it, when you have the same guys out on the field the whole game, they're going to get tired. And the defense is on the field an awful lot. You guys know that. So why not bring some of the fresher legs in and let them get a couple of plays? Like I said, it doesn't have to be 40 reps. It could be, you know, 10 reps, but those reps could be utilized. And then also from what I'm hearing, you know, that kind of playing back on defense, at least on their heels. Well, this week they're supposed to be going forward now, you know, so maybe you might even see a blitz or 2 dialed up because look at Willis. He's like, what?
No way.
Yeah, because I don't know if you guys remember, but last week in the Dallas game in the second quarter, although they didn't blitz, they showed the look of blitz a couple of times.
I remember.
You saw that get he got a little rattled. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
And they just totally went away from it.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
If it's
put
working,
pressure on them
why
like
not? If it's working, why not keep doing it? Like if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
He saw that blitz. He saw the appearance of it, and he literally was audibly out of place. He literally got a little rattled. I think that's when they got pressure to him at that point. Even he said after the game, they started showing us some different looks. although he did say he knew everything that they were coming at him because he went up against that in practice and all that stuff for years. So that's what I'm saying. You want to see some things be mixed up. And I think this was probably, I can tell you, just talking with Dan after that game last week, he was, that was probably the most disheartened I've seen him, and heard from him. And I could tell, just from the rhetoric and the conversation, that it was more or less disappointment, not just with the players, but with the coaching as well. There was no doubt about that. And he said it, we had a plan on what we thought could win this game, and we didn't stick to the plan. So I think you guys knew that plan was to run the football. First play of the game, Bill Krosky-Merritt, 8 yards. You go back and watch that. If any of you look at all 22 or anything like that, go back and watch that first run. If one more block was thrown, that first run, he was taking it that close to it. They went away from it. Then there was a spurt where they brought in Jeremy, and he had some nice runs. They went away from it. So you don't want to get into a shootout with, somebody is coming in with a fully equipped semi-auto, and you coming in with a water gun. you don't want to play with that. And they fell right into Dallas's trap. So if you think that that's going to happen this week, then it'll be a long night for everybody involved with the burgundy and gold. So they're going to have to come in there and do, Shano said what the Eagles did in the Super Bowl. I'm saying they just need to do what the Eagles did this year to Kansas City. They basically made that an ugly football game, and it was just a defensive war. That's the only way they're going to win this football game. They're not going to go into Kansas City and outscore Kansas City offensively. That's just not, let's just be realistic here. Can they score over 20? Absolutely. I'm going to tell you right now, if Washington can get 21 or more, they have an opportunity to win the football game. They really do. We just hope that the defense doesn't give up 40. We can't have that. So, all right. So hypothetical. This is a good one. I couldn't wait to get to this one. Man, it's kind of tough to ask this question because it's kind of implying that they're going to lose some games. Okay. But as Gerard said, we're realists here. So the question is, if they lose, let's just say they lose the next two. Okay, that means they lost one on the road and then one back at home, which would be Seattle. That would put them at what, 3-6 at that point. My question to you, hypothetically speaking, is, because we hope that doesn't happen, but if they were to get to 3-6, do you think that they should do a wholesale go with the youth and get them reps and get them basically prepped for next year? So basically you're writing the season off. Or do you still feel like at 3-6, if they play these games, like they play tough in Kansas City, lose it at the end or something, they come back and play Seattle, who's playing really well, by the way, play them tough, and like have a chance, it could be like a Bears type game. When do you throw the towel in? That's my question to you guys. Okay, so we'll start back around the horn with how we started. So Abdul, what do you think?
No, I think you still play with the best players available, whether it's the younger generation or the vets. I believe that's the only way to. I don't think you throw out the towel until you're out of contention, to make it into the playoffs. So I think so. You just play with your best available players. That's what I think.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Brad Jones, what's up? Thanks.
So losing to Seattle, that would mean 5 losses in the NFC to teams that are making the playoffs
and would have much distance between you. Bob.
Exactly.
You already have.
You've lost one in your division. You still got Denver, Minnesota, Philly. I'm not saying give up the season, but I think put them young horses in there because the expectation, because we won so quickly last year, the expectation was that these young guys were going to come in and just make immediate impact. Whereas most teams, I don't want to ramble on, but new owner, new GM, new coach, new quarterback, they start from the bottom, then they work themselves up. We started from the top. So our rookies, our young ones didn't have an opportunity to get in and just implement what they can do, make those learning curves, get all those mistakes. So I'm not saying give the season in, but I say give them young horses some more time.
Okay, so I hear you, Brad, and agree with you on that. I do want to say this though. The talk that I've been hearing since Dallas, like everybody's ready to crucify Adam Peters, and they're calling me an Adam apologist. That's because you're a guy, dude, so you're apologizing for him. And I'm saying this, his first ever pick for the Washington Commanders as general manager is this young superstar quarterback, okay? Mikey Sainristil is a starter, We understand Brandon Coleman, he's not playing now, probably doesn't look to be part of this going forward. We'll see. But Johnny Newton's still out there. He's another one of those picks. We know Ben Sinnott hasn't done anything. I get that. But let's transition to this year's draft class. 4 of those 5 draft picks are starters. So I'm sorry, like Bill Krosky Merritt, your 7th round is your starting running back. Your first overall pick this year, Josh Connolly Jr., is your starting right tackle. Okay. Your 2nd pick in the draft this year, in the 2nd round, Trey Amos is your starting corner and probably your number 1 corner right now. Okay. Then in the 4th round, your 3rd pick is Jalen Lane, who's starting at wide receiver right now. And then when Terry and Debo are here this week, Jalen goes to the number 3 receiver. I think that's what it's going to be. He's going to be your slot guy. So the only person that hasn't produced from this draft class yet is Kane Medrano, and might be a surprise addition this week. I'm just saying. Okay. So how does anyone feel like the young guys wouldn't be the better options if you aren't in contention anymore? You gotta play these guys, right?
For the fans, to me, sorry to jump in, that
Go
there's
ahead.
crashing on Adam and coming down on Jaden. That's like that Stockholm syndrome to me. We so used to been complaining about it's bad, that they just looking for something negative to say. Like you said, our first year was amazing. And if our last coach, we all know who I hate who that is, but if some of them draft picks would have worked out, we probably could be better right now. None of them picks worked out. You know what I mean? So we started from nothing and we just got a great one in the quarterback. So all of that hit crashing on AP and coming down on 5. Come on, y'all, cut it out, man. We just so used to being at the bottom that we just complain about, you know what I mean? Because you had people even last year was complaining, was saying it wasn't real. We couldn't sustain it. You know what I mean?
Oh, they're loving this right now. I mean,
Right.
people telling me you're a bum. I don't know how you can cover the NFL because your predictions are always wrong. You said they were going to be a Super Bowl contender. And I did say that. And you know what? I'm standing by that. I also would like to remind people making no excuses, because when you look at Detroit, when you look at San Francisco, they've been besieged by injuries and they're still doing it at a high level. Okay. But the one constant with Detroit, can't say it about San Fran, but I can say with Detroit, their quarterback is still under center. And, consistency at that position means everything. A banged up Jaden isn't the Jaden from last year, but I still look at those numbers, and those numbers look pretty darn good for a guy that's banged up. Okay. I just want some of the fans to understand that, yes, I understand the frustration and because, the effort on the field, excuse me, hasn't looked the part. It just hasn't. And I think we all agree with that. But this isn't the same type of group of guys. Like when you're in that locker room, I don't see anybody hanging their head. Some people may think they should be hanging their head, but that's not how they're trying to build this thing. They're trying to build this thing on being positive. Understand you got a chance to fix what you didn't do right last. So again, let's continue on with this. Like, what your thoughts are if they hypothetically were to lose the next 2 games, and I'm not saying lose them how they lost in Dallas. No, I mean, if look, if they look like they did against Dallas over the next 2 games and losses, then yeah, you do need to play young guys because it's over. Okay. But we're talking about if they were to play the Chiefs tough, lose a close one in Arrowhead, follow it up against Seattle, play them tough, lose a close one at Northwest Stadium, do you say it's time to work the young guys in, or it's just too soon? So that's pretty much the question. So Brad Savage, you're up. What you think?
I say no, you play your starters, you play everybody who deserves to be playing.
Okay.
Because I feel like that would be a disservice to what DQ's trying to build culturally. He says anybody, anywhere, anytime. And I think if you quit too soon, it kills all of what we've built. I think to me personally, I don't care if we out of contention. I want to see everybody play all the time, like as hard as they can, because that's just my personal feeling. But I feel like DQ feels like that too. So in order to keep what he's saying, and for him to be believable by the players, he has to follow that, and he has to play his people 100%. So that's how I feel about that one. And like, don't listen to them fans. Them fans crazy. People just be shouting. You saying the right thing, sir.
I appreciate that. I do.
Yeah.
Now I've learned this year. This is probably the first time, and I gotta give my baby credit because she, if y'all are fortunate enough to have that other half of you like me, she keeps me from walking off the ledge, man. I mean, with fans, like,
yeah, they crazy.
I am from DC. Sometimes I'm ready to go, and she's just like, don't just let it go. She said because those are the people that are always angry anyway. I mean, they could beat a team 40-0, and they're gonna say, why didn't they get 50? So you just have to sometimes take it with a grain of salt. We're gonna keep this on, but I do want to pose this to you guys because if you're saying never take quote unquote the veterans out, for the younger guys, if that's what you're saying,
I don't agree with that.
there's all this chatter about benching Marshawn, so that kind of leads me that you guys are saying no, you keep Marshawn in there.
I'm saying play the people who
I don't
deserve
think
to
he
play.
should. I don't.
Yeah, I think you play the people who deserve to play. If Marshawn's gotten to the point where they don't feel like he can do the job, then you take him out. But if they don't feel that way, and it's not my decision, it's how the coaches feel. If they don't feel that way, then you keep him in there. And as a fan, I'm gonna support that.
Yeah, and I think
Until they take him out, then I think he can do it.
yeah, I think a lot of people, like, everyone has this short-sighted memory. Yeah, it looked bad last week against Dallas, but you know what? Last time I looked, their offense is doing that to everybody. And a lot of those Pickens catches on Marshawn were great catches. Those were sideline catches. But the 2 games before that, Marshawn had played well. We didn't have this conversation, but because that stood out and who it was against, and it just compounded itself. And now you have all these folks that are like, not just bench the guy, but cut him. And I'm like, man, that's too much for me. I'm sorry. That's too emotional. So yeah. So let's go ahead, keep it going. Brandon, what you think, Brandon?
I mean, look, the person that's just balling right now on that line is Deron Payne. That guy's having an incredible season, right? He's not coming out. We know that. But I like the idea that they're bringing in McGee. I like the idea that they're going to bring in some of the young guys. Maybe there's a way that we keep the starters, but we rotate in and out the young guys to slowly get them more reps, like you're saying. But I mean, would I say the season is gone at 3-6 if we happen to go there? No, because remember in 2012 when RG3 was a QB, we were 3-6 at this point in the season. And then what happened? They won all those games and we went into the playoffs. I don't want to see the repeat of what happened to him, to the quarterback again. But I always believe we're in the chance. Look, if DQ is making those adjustments now, and I know it's a little late, but if he's making those adjustments now, we're getting to it and we're going to implement those guys. maybe something magical will happen, man. And the one thing I do want to see, I mean, I'm curious of when Jaden's coming back too, as well. I haven't really been looking at that because I know obviously he's
Next
playing this
week.
week.
Next week.
Maybe next week, yeah.
Yeah,
But
next week.
I think I do honestly feel like I like look McGee coming in. That's a big plus for me because that means I've never seen Kay Medrano play. I want to see the guy on the field. I want to see what he can do because I think Bobby's going to help that kid and Luvu maybe move to the end and what's going to happen. We'll see. So yeah, that's the way I feel. I think we're always in. I don't think we should give up, but I do think we should just make the subtle changes and keep punching, man. Keep punching.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, Eric.
All right. So, like I told you before, we've had a couple games where, I mean, should have went our way. The only two games that we really lost was Green Bay and then them Cowgirls last week. I mean, we honestly could be sitting there here doom and gloom at 4-3. I mean, realistically, 5 at the top end. But I say if we get they play Kansas City tough and show a lot of grit to get to 3-5, and then if they're able to pull off the Seattle game, I think they're still in it. But this playoffs this year, I think it's going to take 11 wins to get in. And I mean, if you look at the odds and all that, I mean, it's going to take a miracle run for us to get a wild card.
Yeah, they're plus 325 to make the playoff.
Yeah. I do want to see the younger guys get in because, like I said, the guys out there right now, I mean, what we got to lose? I mean, we got some people that are playing well. Amos, I think the D-line is playing fairly well. But other than that, I'd say, hey, whoever wants it, it's your job. And I feel like DQ is probably saying that, like, hey, this is anybody's chance. So if it's 3-6, I mean, I don't know if we have that many tradable assets to where we can get draft picks next year because I mean, if they knew that all these guys were going to be banged up, they wouldn't have brought these guys in. That's the bad part. I mean, people are going to get banged up, but we just had a bad stretch early on. And I think if this team can get healthy, I like the team, but I hope they can just make some changes. I mean, put Louisville on the edge some. Let them blitz. Just let them go crazy. Put McGee in the middle with Bobby. Put Kay Medrano out there where he's covering tight ends and whatnot. I mean, I think we got a good enough personnel that they could be fairly solid. It's just you got to put them in the right spots and just change things up and try something new because you keep doing the same thing over and over again. That's insanity.
Yeah. All right.
So, yeah.
All right. Okay. All right.
Plus, Mariota, I mean, the offense moves with them. So I'm not afraid about the offense taking a step back. I just want to see them make some different changes on defense and then draw up some different plays on offense for like Jalen Lane. Get them to how they use Jackson Smith and Jigba. I mean, run Bill to the outside. Don't let him go between the tackles all the time. Let the guy get in space.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. All right, Gerard.
Well, this is where I'm at. Like I said, so you saying we lose the next two. All right. I was already there on after Sunday. Blow it up. That's where I was at for. I was there after Sunday for a few different reasons and everything with AP, DQ, everything. Stuff I said earlier about the offense and the defense. Because I blame everybody. I blame all three phases. That's where I'm at. But I calmed down after a couple of days. So this is why I say if we win one out of the next three,
right,
you focus on the next two. It will all depends on how the other people are doing. The reason why I say we got to win at least one out of the next three, I'm planning on us after we play Miami, we're going to go on a 5 or 6, 7 game win streak. And then we close out with 4 division games. To me, the only way we make the playoffs is we win the division. The way stuff is stacking up right now, especially if we lose the next two, we're not even going to be in wild card contention because we have lost so many of the conference games. So the only way you're going to make playoffs is win the division. So we might as well bring the young guys in. I really didn't need to see Bobby Wagner no more. I didn't even need to see Zach Ertz anymore. Nothing against those young men, but they're not part of the recalibration going into next year. That if they are, it's an issue. I'm all about developing our talent and making our team go further. Like last year was just like a freak of nature. Nobody was expecting that. Okay, so let's keep it real. Let's build our team. So you drafting these people, a lot of people who they bring in off the streets, these older heads, Preston Smith or that other defensive end, you bring him in, then he on the IR. That that's not
Yeah.
building the team.
Yeah.
I'm about building a team. Let these young people get an opportunity. You brought them in here. I want to see what's in that guy. If we lose the next two, yes, I have no reason to see Zach Ertz. He's not part of the future. Appreciate you. Like what you did. We paying you a paycheck, but we got to build this team. I don't care you bring somebody off the streets. I don't need to keep Lattimore in the game. He does not turn his head back. All you got to do is look back. And then it would be a different game for him. He just don't do that enough for me. But I am keeping hope alive. So I'm not saying blow it up. I believe we got a good shot against Kansas City if we play complete ball all phases of the game. I think we can get this victory on Monday night. I think we have a good shot against Seattle, Detroit. I don't know at the moment. But for me, I got to see where the other teams are at in the conference before I say what I got to say. Because the only way we're going to the playoffs, y'all, we got to win the division. That's where it's shaping up right now, in my opinion.
All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. I hear the passion pouring out of you guys. This is your chance to vent. I mean,
I've been waiting. And I missed last week because I had an emergency to come up, and I was ready. But I appreciate all you guys. I really do. I like it. I live and breathe this. I really do. So let y'all know.
I know I have to, I said like an hour, it ain't gonna happen. I already said. So it's all good. So let's just keep it going. So Ebony, what you think?
I think if we do lose those games, go ahead, start slowly bringing the younger guys in so they can get used to the NFL speed and exactly everything that they need to know so they can get better if they not, where the level that they need to be a starter right now. So more reps they have,
better on.
they'll get, even better. Then we can go further in the season.
Okay. Good stuff. I mean, I like it. The reps. I mean, I think that's what everybody's saying. And I mean, that's a great point. I think everyone's saying, let's incorporate these young guys in. Again, don't have to be the whole game, but you can't tell me there's times when you see guys running around out there and no one can chase them down. If anything, a guy with speed can be there. That's. I mean, he doesn't have to have the highest IQ on the field at all times, but sometimes the speed has been lacking, and sometimes that speed can get to the ball and dodge it and give you a chance to turn. So maybe opportunity. So I'm not sure. Somebody's got something on background. Okay, so let's go with Oscar. Oscar.
Yeah. Like I still think it would be very early to throw the towel if we move to 3-6, because you never know what's going to happen on NFC East. I mean, Eagles are not the same Eagles as last year, and we're always talking about Cowboys having the great year, and they're still 3-3. So I also agree with Brandon. I mean, there has been some seasons where our record wasn't great, but we still made it. Like 2005 as well with Mark Brunell. I think we won like the last 5 or 6 games to make it to playoffs. And yeah, it's Miss Sheila's positive vibe. She came out like as if she was listening to Bob Marley. So I'm all positive still. It's early.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. All right, Shauno, what you think? Oh, you're muted, Shauno. Yep, you're muted. There you go.
Sorry about that. It's too bad we can't extend the trade deadline because some of these guys need to be put on the block and ship them out. But if health continues to be an issue for us, that we can't get rid of the injury bug, then I say definitely let the youngsters get in there, as most people are saying, giving them some experience. But I want to end on this and say that no offense, Lake. So your boy Lattimore currently plays left corner pretty much. I think his position should be left out. And
I like that. I like that.
I'm okay with putting Madrano in there. He has speed. See what he could do. He can't do any worse than Lattimore.
Well, but Madrano's a linebacker.
I know that. I know that. But he could do what Lattimore is doing.
so listen.
Wow.
I think I mean, I look at a lot of film, and Marshawn has been out of position some. Yes, I'm not going to sit here and say he hasn't been.
Turn his head around.
But then there's some. Yeah, he's not looking back at the ball. He's not trying.
Yeah, that's all he got to do.
It's not the New Orleans Marshawn, okay? But I think at this stage right now, you can get some use out of him still. And I think it might be moving him back to safety. And the reason why I say that is because when he was tracking the football and looking back at the ball, like the New Orleans version, he was the guy that was a turnover waiting to happen because he tracked the ball. He still has that skill set, but for whatever reason, it's not being displayed. So maybe if you're on the back end, you see everything in front of you, maybe you could get some use out of that. That's just a whole nother thought process. But then the question is, who are you going to take out? Are you going to take Jeremy out? Are you going to take Quan out? Hopefully they're working Tyler back in. So yeah, I just don't think you can give up on him just yet. I don't think it's time. But the clock is ticking. I will say that. So in fairness to what you're saying, Sean, the clock is ticking, and you can hear it.
You don't think he's above that, though, do you? I mean, you don't think he's above moving to, like, say, a slot corner?
Well, no, it's not about what you're above doing. If you're struggling at something and they're trying to help you by moving you somewhere, then you have to consider that.
I would hope so.
Yeah, it's all for the betterment of the team. At the end of the day, the question is, because I've been saying this. Personally, I know the whole goal this whole offseason was to get, another corner to go opposite Marshawn so you can move Mikey into the slot. Well, Jonathan Jones is back. I'm putting Jonathan in the slot because that's his natural position, which he did at New England for years. And I'm moving Mikey back to the outside. I just think Mikey played better on the outside. They tried the experiment underneath. Mikey is a playmaker. That's what he is. When you look at him, he's the guy that's around the football. Put him back on the outside. I remember last year seeing him going up against AJ Brown, and he did a decent job against him.
Great job.
Yeah. So kind of get back to some things that worked for you before and see what happens. I'm not saying again, you don't have to bench Marshawn. I mean, he's a healthy body. You can't. So you can work guys around and mix up the coverages and things like that. Maybe put Marshawn in the slot at times. He's a grabby guy. Sometimes that's a good thing to grab the guy running free across the middle. So sometimes you can do these things. I think what all of us are saying at the end of the day, we're speaking all different languages, but all we're saying is for the coaching staff to give us a look of competitiveness of you're not letting teams dictate to you what they're going to do against you, and you have no resistance, little to no resistance. So maybe
quick question, Late. If I can ask you real quick. When is the trade deadline? How many weeks away?
I want it's
November 4th.
Like that. So it's
about 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks away.
A little bit over 2 weeks. So maybe like 15, 16 days. And
right. So if we done lost those 2 games, like you saying, if they don't have plans to keep Payne, if they don't have plans to keep Terry or Debo next year, because they should know how their money looking. You got to get some assets for them guys. If that's not their plan for next year, because they might not want to pay Debo and Terry two 30-year-olds.
I agree with you on the hypothetically speaking again.
Yeah, hypothetically, if we losing like that.
I agree with you on that thought process, but this is the problem. Let's just say you did want to move on from Terry, which I'm not saying they want to.
Right, I'm just saying.
But if they did, who's going to want to trade for him knowing that he's been injured? And you're not going to get much. You're not going to get what you need if you're going to move him, Because if you're going to move a guy like that, I need no less than a second back.
And I think it's too late to trade Terry. If they was gonna do that, they would have did
It
that
could be
already.
Debo. It could be Debo.
But
If you're not going to pay Debo, because you
Debo,
paid Terry.
You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, we know what they're capable of doing when healthy. And that's why Adam traded for Debo to pair with Terry. You know, but that whole scenario didn't work out for other reasons.
But don't you think Debo want to get paid next year?
That who's going to get paid?
Debo. Don't you think he wants to get paid like a good wide receiver?
Absolutely. But you know what? There's a thing that's happening here that I think sometimes people aren't understanding, because some of these guys aren't going to have the year that they needed to get paid. You know, now the ball's actually in the front office's court, because you like, let's just say Debo and Terry were 100% healthy and they both put up over 80 catches and this offense was humming. Then you'd have a problem. You'd have to decide what we're doing here. But now that might not be the case. They may need another year to get to those contracts. We know Terry's contract kicks in next year, but the incentives and all those things, it's an incentive-laden contract. So I don't think it's as dire as I understand. The only player on the team right now that if they were to move, they would get calls out the wazoo for is Duran. You know, but I don't think they're looking to move Duran. Duran's a great locker room, likable guys, and he's playing ball. You know, something lit a fire, and we know it's a contract.
Yes, exactly.
But I think Kinlaw being there wasn't.
I think so too.
Yeah. So I think there's layers to this, and I know we still have Sheila and Willis we have to get answers from. But there's layers to why things aren't working and haven't worked. I'm telling you, man, Dedrick Wise going out early was
hurt bad.
That was
safety too.
For this
football. Will too.
Will Harris. So Will Harris can be back. You know, Will was out there today. You know, so Will not practicing. I don't want anybody to take that and run with it, but he was back in the building. You know, so and Dedrick's been back in the building, not practicing. He's done for the year, but just getting faces back in the environment. And, you know, again, something had to have been said. If I could have been a fly on the wall after the Dallas game, because coach didn't come in to talk with us until maybe it was probably 30 minutes later than what he normally does with us as far as coming in the room. So I believe that there was some things said, if you know what I mean, about get back to the standard of what we're trying to do and be here. They weren't. So let's get Sheila and Willis. I haven't forgotten about you. Sheila, are you still there? I think she stepped out for a second. So let's go with Willis. What's up, Willis?
Hi. So I'm going to also absorb a little sunshine from Miss Sheila, and I'm going to say this hypothetical is not even going to happen. We are not going to lose both of these games. I think we're going to pull away with at least one of them. But I'll placate you here, and we'll go with this. I'm 100% with Abdul. I think you fight with tooth and nail with the very best you have until you don't have any playoff contention ability at all. And then I think it's at that point that Adam and Dan sit down and really start looking at the future and saying, like, who of our veterans are the guys that we want to stick with, and who do we see a lot of possibility with the younger guys, and start mixing them all together. And the guys that are not going to be part of the team next year, the structure, I think it's their time is to sit on the bench and like be secondary coaches. You know, I think it's time to start making that mix.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. And then we finally can wrap up with Miss Sheila. Wrap this up on a positive note.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well,
that was positive, Willis, but I mean, the ultimate.
Willis, thank you, Willis, for being on my side.
Yeah, there we go.
But anyway,
I just make you look good.
Yeah. Just okay. Suppose Adam go get some more old people. Okay. I mean, you don't know if he's gonna go get some more vets next year, So it's possible. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they bringing some in now, right?
Yeah.
There you go. So
they had to though with the injuries though.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, if you're a young guy sitting on the street now, there's a reason for that.
I know.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's hard for me to think that way. I'm just gonna be honest. It's just hard for me to think that way. Not with the quarterback I got and we got, and then he comes in and get a chance to play after this Sunday. I believe you're gonna see a totally different Jaden. And I just do. He just has not had his chance to make it through a game. But even when the last 2 games he played, he shined until they decided to give up that touchdown before the half.
Yeah.
He brought us in within 1 point, just one score to reach. And I just I'm saying this because I took the beating this week from Dallas Cowboy fans. My friend is a Dallas Cowboy.
Yeah.
I took the beating. I had to bow down to him a little bit, just a little, So I'm not going to even go there to just think that way. It's I'm just going to keep positive that we're going to make it through. We might not be able to make the playoffs because of some of the things that has happened, but if we do, and Jaden get on a roll, and I believe he is. I believe it. Debo and Terry is back, and then the rest of them. I think they're gonna get their little thing going, and I think we're gonna be in the mix. So I got to stay positive.
All right, so I'm sorry for you. I got one for y'all, and I'm gonna let anybody just chime in, But whoever gets the floor on when they're talking, let's just let them talk, and then we'll get to the next person. Let's get 10 more minutes in with this question. Another hypothetical. And I know the answer to it.
Everybody take a minute, okay?
Yeah, you already so everybody try to have their answer seriously like 30 seconds or less. Really. We all know the answer to this, but I'm throwing it out there anyway because somebody posed it to me and I was like, are you serious? Okay. They go into Kansas City. Terry, Debo, offense humming around, Marcus throwing, making throws, touchdowns. They win.
I already know the answer.
Don't ask the question.
JD, no matter what.
Do you give him another week?
Yes.
JD.
My question. Do you give him another week to heal and play Marcus again? That's the question.
Why
not?
I give him as long.
I play him.
Yes.
Hold on.
I say.
Oh, sorry.
If you're, I can see everybody. If you're a yes, put your hand up. You play Marcus one more week. So
it all depends.
I play Marcus until they lose.
Ooh.
No.
Yes.
Only because hamstrings can linger and you can look good and then you can get hurt again. So
that's right.
If Marcus is winning and we win convincingly, let 5 rest. Let 5 rest.
Brad is
everybody that says no, you put Jaden back in there even if he's 90%, 80%.
So
right.
This is my thing. Big. Brad is technically correct, but if the doctors clear him and he's good, then I'm playing him. As long as he gets clearance, I'm playing him no matter what. If the doctors be like he can play, but then I'm gonna rest him. But if they
that's my answer right there.
Then I play him.
Right.
Because my answer is you play him. That's your franchise quarterback.
Yeah. That's what I say.
And if he's able to play and they clear him, he has to.
But do you sit him because he is your franchise quarterback and a hamstring?
But if he's been cleared by the doctors, that means he's able to play.
Okay.
There you go.
But Marshawn has been cleared with his hamstring, and he get out there and then get right back hurt again. Hamstrings can be it's a soft tissue. I don't mean to say Marshawn, but I just mean like soft tissue injuries are hard to gauge, right?
Yeah. I thought we moved
on like Riviera now.
You make a good point, but it's JD5, and if he's cleared, I gotta play him.
Hey, I'm with Sean. If they're winning and everything's looking good, just let it go. I mean, what's the work? I mean, yeah, we want to see Jaden play, but I mean, if everything is going right, it's only going to help Jaden the rest of them.
Trying to make the playoffs.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm gonna say this again. If he's cleared for next week, which I think he will be,
I think so too.
I think that you play him. You have to, and let's just be honest. As good as Mark has looked at times, he's not Jaden.
Right. He's not.
And, that throw he made last week, I discount that. They were already getting pounded. It was just make a play. But what Jaden can give you, we saw that against the Bears. I mean, and it comes in spurts. Like once he's on, it's just a whole different type of level of quarterback play. And they're going to have that type of quarterback play if they're going to make a run here. And then my final thing before we wrap up is I think this Kansas City game, frankly, I hate to say it because I got to travel there. I'm not expecting much. I'm just not. I'm expecting a better effort, harder play, definitely. But to me, the next 2 games after Kansas City determine their season, period.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, if you lose those 2 games in conference, you're done. It's over. I mean, and I'm sorry that positive talk would be, Lake, nah, man, we can go on a run and win it. If you lose 2 more conference games before you get to your divisional game, it's
over.
It's almost an impossible feat. You would have to run the table in the division in order to have a remote chance, and you're going to need some of those other teams in the division, by the way, to lose some games. So to me, I think this Kansas City game is a game just to get guys back out there and get them playing hard, see what happens. But the next 2 games, and the fact that they're at home,
there you go.
Yeah, the next 2 games will decide the fate of this team. And if you can get a split, now we're talking. So I agree. This goes back to what Gerard has said earlier.
Yes.
X3, if you can get 1, it changes everything. So yes, I agree with you on that. But it's not the Kansas City game. Now, if you can get the Kansas City game, get it. Of course. Then you even your record. You're 4-4 again.
It's Seattle.
Yeah. But if you come out of this thing at 5-6, or maybe even you going over, you go in at 5-5, after the Detroit game, going to Madrid, it'll look a lot better. It really will. And then I can see my guy Oscar over there in Europe, and everything will be looking better. But if they go over there at 3-6, man, I don't know if I'm gonna leave a hotel until I go to the stadium in Madrid.
Now, Lake, if we get to 500, if we get to 500, say 5-5 or 6-6, do you make a play to try and trade for somebody that could be an impact player? That
I don't think there is an impact player that they could go and get with not having the assets.
Yeah, we don't got no picks.
We can't give up no more picks, man.
Yeah, we can't give up no more picks.
You can't.
And I think that's the problem. Everybody think we are 1 player away. Our cupboard is not filled yet to be 1 player away. So trading for nothing, we can't afford to do that. We need all the picks we can get.
Flip a roster that had the production from the roster were the older guys, and they're trying to flip the roster to come back down to into the mid-20s, if anything. And you have a good start because you have your franchise quarterback you nailed on the first pick. Okay. And now you look at some of the other young starters, especially from this year's draft class. I mean, this year's draft class, with the exception of Jaden from last year, this year's draft class is better than last year's draft.
Oh yeah, all the way, all the way.
So there was a home run draft class. So now if you can get Kane to come out and do some things, you've nailed all 5 of your picks. There'll be starters. I don't think anyone's questioning that Kane will be a starter at linebacker next year. He probably will be, So you think about where they are with that, and then you nail another draft class. Now you'll start to see the young faces and the young legs running around out there. But the one thing that and again, I know we're getting long-winded here.
Yeah.
You cannot underestimate
the
fact that these young guys are playing with a couple of first ballot Hall of Famers. Maybe those guys, those first ballot Hall of Famers, aren't what they were in their previous destinations, their previous places. But I'm telling you, man, if you can ball beside somebody that knows everything that's going on and can give you tips and help your game, it's invaluable. So for Bobby Wagner, for Von Miller, for some of these guys to be able to help some of these young guys learn, more importantly, what it looks like to film study, what it looks like to look at a playbook and know what you're seeing when they're struggling to understand it. Those things are invaluable. So just hope some of the fans understand that there's a method and a way they're doing business here. Finally, that's professional, contrary to maybe what the results look like right now on the field.
And people attack Bobby Wagner, and I think the team don't do him no good because they leave him on an island out there. And he not what he was, but he's the second leading tackler in the NFL.
I mean,
100
right?
people
People bum, and I'm like, what are you like? Are you watching what I'm watching?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, real quick, Late.
Yes.
Let's remember this video right here. Let's put a pin in this, fellas. Okay, back to Deron Payne. If things was to go sour, everybody's saying he's playing good. I do not want what happened last year to Terry to happen with Deron Payne with this management, where the contract got to last the whole summer. Because to me, if you're not going to want to sign him and pay him the top dollar, and if we lose it, you trade him. You get some assets because we need some more draft picks, and he's the most strongest person that we got.
Trade.
You
That'd be hard to
I'm
replace
just
him,
saying.
though.
Yeah.
I'm talking about if we lose it in another couple of weeks.
Yeah, but
That's what you do.
but
Because if you hold on, because if you keep him and do what you did to Terry last year, because they knew it was Terry's contract. They knew all this stuff last year, and Terry had a great year. And then look how everything went. All I'm trying to say, management got to know what they know and be ready.
Okay,
That's all I'm saying.
So I got to ask you this, Gerard.
Okay.
What did they do to Terry?
Okay. This is what they did, in my opinion. I thought about all this week. Josh Harris brought the team, right?
Mm-hmm.
He knew everything on how the old Snyder situation was, correct? He knew how the stadium was, correct? So he came here, he brought in Magic Johnson. We drafted Jaden Daniels, correct? This is what our management team did. He brought in Dan Quinn, correct? Okay, cool. Josh Harris I hear you talk about it. He has uplifted the stadium. He's uplifted the locker room, right? He made a lot of great enhancements because our team was doing bare minimum. Far as a player, Terry was our top player. Out of everybody on our team, Terry was our top player. He had one of his best years last year. They knew all of this before the offseason came. So all I'm saying is, management, you coming in, you trying to revive a fan base, you trying to get the stadium right, you trying to get everything correct, know what you're doing with your player. That's all I'm saying. He's not going to ask for pennies.
Okay, so let
me have
a
good game plan where it don't last as long.
This would be ready.
Still under contract though. And
right. That's what I was.
But hold on. Let me say this. Terry
had one more year
his contract to get more money because he had in his mind a career year. Okay, but wait. If every player does that, you're in trouble as an organization. And all I'm saying is, this organization went out and traded for a Pro Bowl receiver to help Terry, to take him from having to be Superman at all times. They traded for a 5-time Pro Bowl left tackle to help Terry and to help Jaden. I don't think they did anything against Terry.
That's not.
Always said, Terry, you better
negotiate that contract.
You play one year and you bet on yourself. That's what I've always said.
Me too.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is, have a good game plan in place. Terry was still the man. Right? Now JD5 is the man. Yeah, so he's going to be able to write his own check.
Yeah, but I don't think anyone expected for Terry to hold out.
Thank you.
And I can tell you from conversations with people,
it shouldn't even have got.
That wasn't part of the equation coming back to this year. There were 5 vets that spoke. I'm just telling you guys this.
I'll wait to see what happens with Debo this year.
Let's come back and run this back.
Yeah,
and do this.
Okay.
Come on, Gerard. I'm on your side.
And then he hit. And then he out.
I'm gonna see what happened next year. This year gonna tell me everything. That's all I'm saying.
And if you look at the contract, Terry ain't really win in that contract.
He didn't.
He could have signed that. They could have offered that in April, and he would have signed it. That's my thing.
Terry
he could have been in camp the whole time. That's my only thing.
So I hear a lot of people.
I'm telling you guys verbatim. that's not the money Terry was asking for. Terry didn't get.
Yeah, we
Terry
knew he
wanted
wasn't
Terry wanted
from day
Chase.
one. We knew it was
Jamar
30
Chase
million. It
money.
ended up being 30 million.
Right. No, he
I
shouldn't
think
do
they
that.
shorted him. I think they shorted him from
When
the
I tell
get-go,
you,
and that's
Wow.
Who
why.
said that?
Terry, the
I
contract
did.
Terry
Brandon.
signed, I'm telling you this verbatim. The contract that Terry signed
Brandon.
would not have signed that months before.
Right.
Of
Because
course,
Right.
because he wanted one more. He wanted more money.
After the Sutton deal, so I give him 1 week into training camp. After that Sutton deal, he would have. That's when you lock in and you figure that out at that point in
But
time.
if
That's
you
my
look
only.
around,
Correct,
if you
man.
look
That's
around
my
the
only thing.
most
I love AP though.
if you look
But
around
that's just my
too.
only critique.
if you look around the NFL, a lot of teams sign guys later in camp.
Yeah,
That's
but
just
I
always
think
late.
I think all teams are wrong in doing that though. Every team that's waited long in camp is wrong.
But you understand why
That
they're
doesn't
waiting?
benefit the team.
Because they're still trying to fill the team and they may have injuries,
Yeah.
have to go out and make other moves. It's
But
not,
if
it's, I understand what you guys are saying.
it's not every player, it's players like Terry.
Right.
is a
Exactly.
cornerstone to this franchise. So you get like the Eagles, they signed all their players and like you ain't hear nothing about they signed 3-4 players. Braun extended it all in the like during free agency. So when it
Barkley
time to start
already.
But you
practicing,
do
it was
understand
never
that
an issue.
the pay cuts too, right?
I'm not saying it's an easy thing to negotiate. I'm saying that's going to be your goal is
But why
for players like a Terry,
is my question.
who's Deron going to be, you get that done as soon as you can.
Yeah, but my question is, why did those players take pay? Why did AJ Brown take a pay cut?
Because he doesn't want to leave. He wants to stay. He wants
Because
to keep the
he's
team together.
winning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I've been saying this all along.
He was winning.
Terry could have bet on himself, played the last year of his contract out, and probably would have got a better contract.
More money.
No.
Would have got that money.
I'm
Yeah,
saying
but
this year.
so
Hold
for
up, this
agent-
year right here.
The
No,
agent was in his ear.
not with the injuries he done had. They would have let Terry go.
Yeah, but so we didn't know that was going to happen.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
AP,
That's why
AP
he did
knew
what he
what it
did.
was months ago, though. AP knew Terry wanted to extend. He even
Thank
said that in the end of the year presser. He like, oh, we want to sign him. We want. So talk to him. They was a month late in starting negotiations, and then I think they was waiting until the Sutton deal dropped, which is fine. I get that because that helps them out.
That's
the
business.
negotiation tactics. But after that first week, after that deal is done, we need him in camp. So you hunker down with that agent and you figure it out. That agent was like, I know we said it was a bad look, but the agent was at practice every single day. So let me holler at you, or however you want to do it. That's just my 2 cents.
No,
I get that,
The agent want-
but I think that's the better
who want their
situation.
money.
Just know, like Jamar Chase last year did the same thing and came in and was
Yeah, and he balled out. Good for him. I just
So,
I don't
looking
want to
at-
do anything that Cincinnati do. I've had to
Yeah.
look at a better team.
Looking
now.
at Terry's contract, they still can get out of it after 26 and don't lose nothing.
they can.
Yeah.
Right.
They can cut him and don't lose nothing. They can wash their hands of him and don't lose anything.
Yeah, I'm not mad at the
So I
con-
understand
just
what
think
you're
they could have
saying,
signed
Brad.
that earlier. That's all. That's my only.
That's all I'm saying. Or have your plan in place. I just don't want the same thing that happened with Payne because we
Yeah.
already know what's what.
I
That's
think
my angle.
Terry's situation, Gerard, is probably now giving them a plan going forward with other guys. I don't think no one was expecting for Terry to hold out. And that changed the whole dynamic of their summer. And with that said, and I've been saying it and people get mad at me for saying it, I think that put a little bit of a wrench in the brotherhood right off.
Yeah.
Right.
It
That's
what I was gonna
But
say.
management played a role in that too, though.
Yes.
Oh,
It's
no,
business.
everybody did.
Everybody did.
Management,
Terry, everybody.
of course.
Yes.
It put a divide in the
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey,
That's all I'm saying.
Cut the tape, Blake.
management here. You got
Cut the
players
tape,
here.
Blake.
You got Dan Quinn in the middle. Like, look, I just want to coach. You know, let's
Yeah,
go.
It put a divide in the fan base. Look what
Yes,
did your
it did.
show.
Everybody.
was Terry.
Yeah.
Everybody else.
I mean, you
Hey,
still
look.
Eastern Motors.
you got pro.
But my piece about that is
That's the fan.
AP I think AP's the one who controls
That's what I'm saying.
that piece because he's the one who's offering the contract. I think he could have came to the table a little bit sooner. That's my only critique.
That's
And
all
that's-
I'm saying.
But
know what?
Brad Gerard, look at what happened with Brandon
no,
IU.
that's
Look at that. Look at
What about it?
look
Yeah,
at that contract.
I mean, to me, that I knew he was going to take the whole offseason to sign it because that. Anyways, Brandon IU to me, he should have learned from Brandon Ayuk. Even though AP wasn't there when Brandon Ayuk got signed, it's like get your men in as soon as you can into training camp.
So
The real thing is,
I'm not trying to trip too hard.
Adam learned with this, and to go back to what Gerard is saying, even I don't care who it is now, unless it's Jaden. Adam Peters will never be in a situation like this again, ever, contract-wise, unless it's Jaden, because I don't think Adam understood the severity of who Terry is to this fan base.
Yeah,
okay?
I agree with
will
that.
say that, but then I think Terry didn't understand that
How
they
hardball
real manager, general manager.
I do think AP play hardball, and I'm not mad at that.
But the thing is with Terry, the thing with Terry is he don't show up in the big games. He don't show up in the big games, man.
Well, sorry, I'm not trying to argue, but I respectfully disagree.
Yeah, Brad and Gerard. Terry don't show up in the big games.
He scored a touchdown in every single playoff game. He's the reason why we started clicking in Tampa Bay. He scored a touchdown in Detroit, and he's the only one who scored in Philly.
You know how many times I've seen him have one catch in a divisional game?
Who was throwing the ball? Who was throwing the ball? Who the quarterback?
Still, it don't matter. Look at Jamar Chase. He can have a backup. He can have a backup.
I'm not saying Chase. I'm not saying he Jamar.
No, but I'm saying the real ones, the real top guys, they find a way to get it.
We have to stop comparing. Like Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson on
it's a totally different level. That's Kobe and Jordan.
They're not just the two best receivers in football. They're two of the best football players in football. Okay.
Yeah.
The one thing Terry is
in their stratosphere. But when you look at things like look at CeeDee Lamb, okay? The one constant with CeeDee Lamb, I know Dak's been injured a lot, but he's had the same starting quarterback. So in fairness to Terry, because this is where I like people to know, I'm real about this. Terry hasn't had that stability at the quarterback spot. This was supposed to be the year you could see him and Jaden take it to a whole nother level.
Oh yeah.
They still can. They still can.
Because of the injury, that kind of stunted that right now. And then the injuries across the board have stunted a lot of stuff. So you're kind of hoping that come Monday night, if Terry's on the field and Debo's on the field, that now
you got a chance.
But guess what? Yeah. Jaden's not on there with them. So hopefully next week we can see the team start to look like what we were expecting. And then we can make fair assessments at that point.
Yeah,
but
we'll see. We'll see in Jigba come Seattle.
Do you think even when Jaden comes back, because him and Terry has missed so much time, that they're going to have to pick that timing back up though, because they didn't get none of that in training camp.
Naturally, it's always there's always going to be a rust factor, but they're still so good at what they do. And remember, he played over 360 days with the guy last year, so he's familiar with what Terry can do and what he can't, and vice versa. It's just going to be now, for me, it falls at the feet of Cliff.
Play caller.
It's going to be, how are you going to utilize now? You got all these weapons. Oh, by the way, you got a running back too now. How are you going to utilize it? And we all know the person that'll benefit the most out of all this is going to be Zach Ertz. That's who's going to benefit, because now he'll be wide open in the middle of the field when you have all these other guys running. So trust me, I think this whole thing with Terry has been a situation that no one expected, not even Terry.
We still arguing about it.
But I hope that the organization has learned going forward. Try to speed up these contract negotiations. I do agree with that. But in fairness to the organization, they're never going to go through one like this again, because I think we all know Jaden going to get his contract signed before it's even offered.
Exactly.
But he ain't Terry. Right.
Yeah, but I don't think you're going to have a guy outside of Jaden that means as much to the fan base as Terry did. I also say this too.
I agree.
The fan base also feels like Terry could have handled this a little better as well.
Yes, he could.
Both parties.
Yes, he could have. He could have. Both parties played a role. I just don't want to see it going forward.
You know what fixes all this? If 17 takes one house Monday night.
A couple.
That's all that matters, right? It's over, it's done, it's whatever. they get a win, and you see Adam and Terry hugging in that locker room after the game, no one remembers any of this
No,
stuff.
you see Adam on the field.
You
A
just
thing to
See
watch,
Adam on the
guys.
field
Yeah.
with
A
Josh
thing to watch.
Harris. They'll be on the
That's
field.
on.
huh?
There's
Go-
a
Josh
really
Harris
good.
and Adam will be
Oh,
on the field at Kansas game. They're gonna be down
yeah.
on the field.
Man,
We in that. Okay.
I just want to see something positive because I gotta tell you, it is
We got turned around.
us to go in that locker room. Oh my goodness! After the Dallas game, I told Auntie Donna and Candy, my little sis, I'm like, look, what we going in there for? I mean, what are they gonna say? I know when I played, I didn't want to talk to anybody after something.
You know they don't want to.
So what are you gonna get? And it was you could hear a pin drop in there. It was quiet. Most guys out of there quick. They're ready to get on the bus. They'll sit on the bus and wait before they have to talk. They just did not want to do that. And that was the first time I think since I've covered them in 2 years. I'm talking about this new group. That was the first time I could tell it was utter embarrassment in there. Like embarrassing. That it was embarrassing. I'm sure y'all saw the pictures. I had a reddish burgundy blazer on, so fans knew what I was coming from. It was rough, man. It was rough. It was worse than the Green Bay loss. The Green Bay loss was early. You kind of just threw that out the window. But the fact that you lost like that in Dallas to the Cowboys on national television, it was embarrassing to say the least. And if they have any pride, you won't see that Monday night at all. So that's where we are with this. This was a good vent session today.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I needed it. I needed it real bad.
I appreciate y'all.
Hey, yeah. Hey, I love Terry too. I'm just tired of big game when some of the big games come for us, divisional games and all that. I don't care who's throwing the ball.
Eric Trustin 17.
Well, I've always said this. It's not to me about 17. It's about the fact that for years, and Gerard, you mean some of us older cats in here can attest to this. All we ever wanted was competency in a front office.
Right.
Yes, that's it.
It. And I do believe they have that now.
I do too.
Right.
I do too.
This is his first gig as a GM. So he's learning too,
There's bumps in the road.
Exactly.
But they are so much further ahead in a year and a half with this group than they were for 35 years.
Yeah.
For years before.
So Lou Josh Harris too, right? We ain't got no meddling owner.
Got a new stadium coming.
Exactly.
Yeah, big time.
Look, when we come back from KC for Seattle, they're gonna have the old uniforms, man. Which are gonna be the next year. So but I'm just saying, like, these are all the things that everybody's been asking for, and they're listening. And I can tell you right now, they're listening to a lot of you guys' frustration with what's going on. They know this isn't the standard that they said that they were going to try to establish. I don't know what that was last week. That was, I think Willis said it was an abomination. It was rock bottom all over again. That gave me Snyder vibes. It just did.
It did 100%.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, turn the game off.
I'm talking about blow it up. I mean, yeah. So it's you just have to see a better effort.
2-hour show.
Yeah, we did great.
You gonna have to cut it off. You gonna have to cut it off.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But Late, to your point, real quick, what you just said. I'm gonna say this in 10 seconds. As far as the injuries, when you can't compare us to Detroit, to the 49ers, because they've been around for 2, 3, 4 years building their team. We got a year and a half too, most. So that's how I look at it. So we don't have that type of history and bond of as many draft classes as those teams. So these injuries affect us more than what is going to affect them.
That might be, like, I haven't heard anyone say that ever. That is an excellent point, and it is 100% true, because when you're trying to mesh veterans with young guys and they're all new faces, and then on top of that, your star player isn't really field, and then your franchise quarterback, this will be what, the third game? I mean,
it's
just haven't had a chance to get consistent with each other. They're behind the ball right now. They are. They're behind the 8 ball trying to figure this thing out. They're going to have to get on a run here. They're going to have to string them together. But let's just all feel like it's going to happen Monday night. If it happens,
let's get
I'm
it.
tell you right now, if they go into Kansas City, beat the Chiefs,
Don't be back, baby.
nobody want to see me after that because everybody telling me, "Oh, you a bum? You don't know what you predicting." I'm gonna be right up in them. I'm gonna be just like, where you at? I mean,
yeah, I just hope we can beat them refs too, man.
Yeah,
well,
That's what I worry about.
Brad put that up early. It's gonna be 11 on 12 for sure.
Yeah.
But
I feel you, Eric. I feel you
know
on that
the
one.
Chiefs are riding high right now, but you gotta go in there.
Got to punch him in the mouth.
Immediately. You got to throw some haymakers early.
Yes.
You cannot fall behind Kansas City. If you fall behind them by 10,
No, you're done.
it's going to be, score may not be, they may not hang 50 on them. It could be a 23-0 type game if they but it would feel like it's 50 points.
It might be the first game they decide to go on offense first, so they can choose.
Yes.
I've been thinking about that too, Eric.
Yes.
I've been thinking about that too.
Just so you know, moralized early, you know.
Yes.
How disrespectful was it for Dallas to do that, man? I knew when they said, "Oh no, we're gonna take the ball," I was like, "Wow, this is a golden opportunity for the defense to come out here and stop these guys and let them know it's gonna be a game."
I had to talk Big Herb off the ledge, man. He was going to punch his TV. He called me. I was like, dude, don't ruin your TV. Calm down. Take a break. It was bad, man. He was livid. I was like, bro, calm down.
See, this is why I like doing this because, you know, I'm around my colleagues all the time, every day at the practices and stuff. And we have to keep, gotta keep it professional, and you can't show bias, so you just absorbing what's being said and what you see. But then I talked to like my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law is a diehard, fan. And sometimes he'll text me when I'm at the game and you don't want to know what he's texting.
Oh, I can imagine.
Already, I mean, it's like I write him back and say, don't do that, man, because I need you in good spirits with my sister. You know what I'm saying? Bad. So then when I get back home from Dallas, I saw fans posting videos like wishing the worst on people, and I'm like,
oh man,
we can't do that.
I mean, people were going after Jaden's mom. I mean,
they were. They were
whack.
Yeah, it's crazy.
This matters. I get it. I do. But come on, man.
We're better than that. We're better than that.
That's 100%. So if they win, y'all have any it'll be a Monday night. You still gonna have to get up, obviously, early to go to work. But
I'm not in focus.
Victory celebrations. If they were to win this game, what does it do for you? How does it help you at the next
into work?
Cloud number 9, baby.
Look at me, Sheila! Oh my God, I love
this is Jen. Sorry, I didn't mean to do it. She wanted to say hi.
Sorry, I'm not trying to crash.
You can't.
You good? Hey.
So yeah, I mean, so anything special like the
she loves you guys.
Next day off, if they were to win this game?
I just pay my jersey to work. That's all I do.
She just said it's the Marcus Mariota Chop game. I have my earbuds in. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So she just wants to say hi.
The Marcus. Hey, listen. I mean, you should ask her the question: do you take Marcus out if he wins this game?
I'll ask her.
I start. There's going to be some people in the chat thing here like, okay,
she loves Jaden, man.
The question. The question was if Jaden isn't 100% healthy, just if you're just do you play next week if Marcus were to win this game and they do good offensively? The answer is yes. If he's clear. So,
if he's not healthy, yes.
Yeah. Like, if we end up winning Kansas City, they're going to say, oh, the NFL is like the NBA with all the sports betting and all that. I know you're going to hear that.
No, I actually think if we win,
away from that,
people are going to be happy because people hate Kansas City.
They do.
Yeah.
Nobody likes the Chiefs, man.
The fact that they're good. That's what
they win the match. Yeah.
It's the same thing with the Eagles, man.
Well, same way with New England. Remember, everybody
them.
hated New England. And you hated them because they were winning. So it was the evil empire. So,
never had much hate stuff in my life this year. That's just, I guess, I can hear my father upstairs saying, literally, they only hate on you when you're doing something right. You know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, how many of us
Why people
would
hate
want to
on
be
Peyton.
hated the way Kansas City is, though?
I mean,
And we
Yeah.
all would take
I'd
that.
sign up for it 10 days out of 10.
Yeah, we all would take that.
Yeah.
I
But
just
the
hate
Chiefs and
Dallas.
Patriots, man,
That's
they've
why.
always had the BS with the refs. I mean, them against the Raiders with the Patriots. I mean, the no tuck
Yeah.
rule, come on. That's why
Mhm.
people hate them, is how they win. They get special calls that other people don't get.
I mean, but I still would trade with them. I would
Oh
get
yeah,
them special wins
I'd
and them
love to have the
trophies in
refs
the
on our
cabinet
side.
I mean,
Oh
right
yeah.
now. I would do
Mahomes,
that.
I've had people saying Mahomes isn't the best quarterback in the league, and I'm
Now
like,
that's
Yeah, that's
That's
different.
crazy, man.
They
Yeah, that's
beatable.
different.
You think
They
that?
beatable. They beatable.
That's different.
Hey,
That's
Lake.
different.
Yeah.
Hey, Lake.
Uh-huh.
How Debo and Terry look in practice to you?
Look good enough to play.
Okay.
That's the most important thing to me. And they know they're being watched. Make no.
Okay.
Yeah.
You could see the side eyes on the field. They
Okay.
I think the urgency for this game
It's real.
Is that a 10?
because I think you know that if you look like you did against Dallas, this team will really do it to you. Like
Yes.
so I just think the attention to detail. I'm telling you, man, like I did it in my stand-up yesterday. I talked about just the enthusiasm, and they were also doing more like tackling drills and things like that, and everyone had to do it. So you were running from a group to another group, and it was no walking, it was high energy, and it just felt normal to me. It felt like what I'm used to seeing, and I hadn't seen that in a while. I just hadn't seen that kind of camaraderie and energy. You could see it. You could see it. And the faces and the looks that you got in the locker room were like, yeah, they know. I mean, talk to some of the younger guys. I mean, Tyler Owens flat out said, we're not out of this. You know, he said we got a lot to play for, and because of that, we need to play. So you hear that from a young guy. You only know what the veterans are already thinking. So yeah.
But where's it been at, man? Where's it been at? I mean, why do we gotta get punched in the mouth
Injuries,
to wake
man.
up?
Those injuries have
Injuries play the role.
really
Listen, man.
They not gonna say it, but it's the truth.
It's
11 guys, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, and then you
that's a whole side of the team.
Yeah, it's not an excuse, man. I mean, it's
I'm
a
talking
real
about the intensity, though. Like the intensity of the practice harder and all. It had more heart in it.
But when you're a backup and you're a guy that's now being thrust to be a starter, you can't necessarily have the intensity that a starter would. And the reason for that is because you're thinking out there like, okay, what I'm supposed to be here, I'm supposed to be there. You see the communication all the time up until they snap the ball. That's the thing. I'm like, let's scale that back so that they're not. And you heard Coach literally say, there's some things we're just getting rid of and not working through it. No, they're going to get rid of that play, period.
Yeah.
And that's where I think now you'll see a Dan Quinn type team Monday night. I think he's always been involved. He's always wears the headsets. He hears offense and defense during the games. But you and I know Coach is letting his guys do their thing, you know. But I think now more or less, not just the CEO, it's the coach. Like, we're gonna run the football. We're gonna be uber aggressive on defense, because my thing is, if you get beat on defense trying to be aggressive and you get beat, I can live with that.
Yeah.
What I can't live with is you just sitting back and letting the team just
mollywop you.
No, I can't say it on it.
Yeah, dice you up. Well, I think
BTA.
DQ's probably at I think DQ's probably at a crossroads, probably with himself.
Yeah, I think because I think all of us saw that's not what we were used to seeing. That wasn't the standard. And I'm telling you, from being in the building, I didn't feel the energy at all.
Yeah.
But I definitely felt it this week, and I hope it translates Monday night. Because the season's not over. I've been telling people it's not. But our anxiety levels should all be at 7 and 8s. You know.
Oh yeah.
That's real.
That's where we at.
They just got to play this second half of the season like just flawless. I mean, that's how they'll get to the promised land. They can just play this second half. If they can just get after it and play hard, win.
Well, you
7,
got
8 games from here on out.
run two in this game, not just one. You got 3 backs. Utilize Ben,
Yes.
utilize Chris,
Yep.
utilize Jeremy. You have to, and
Yeah.
also utilize Marcus.
Yeah.
Kansas City can be ran on.
Yeah.
That's a known fact. But if you come in here and you try to make this thing cute and you try to make it a shootout, it's not going to be a favorable result.
But Lee,
Yeah.
Cliff needs to do different with some of his play calling.
I
Because
agree.
that last game, he
agree.
just ran every first down straight up the middle. Run. We got 1 yard. I knew what play he's going to call every time. You said you watched the all 22. I'm quite sure you've seen some of that. So if you're going to use all the backs or use Jaden Lane, we don't do no sweeps. I don't see us running to the outside or nothing. It's always straight up the gut. We got to mix it up.
What is it?
That first run last week with Bill was actually out to the left side.
Right.
Just a question.
Laramie and yeah. And the other thing I think when was asking why hasn't it happened? Remember last week Sam Cosmi was back, and I was surprised. I knew Sam was coming back to play.
And he played the whole game.
Instantly put him started. And my thing is, okay, if that's the decision they're going to do, I don't want someone coming back in their first game off a knee injury. He's healthy, of course, now, but he's back out there. I don't want him in pass blocking. Or I don't want him pass pro the whole game. Run the football. Go forward. Let these guys get a lather on them. Let them go. And then you can do all that other stuff. But like this game against Kansas City, I already look. I got to have a sweater on out there under my coat. It's going to be like in the low 50s by kickoff. And cloudy. It's going to rain before, rain the day after. If they don't go in there and run the ball and make this a physical football game, they have no shot. And I'm just going to say that. That's the only option they have, because when you run the ball, even if you run 3 straight downs, you probably ran two and a half minutes off the clock, 3 minutes off the clock. But if you go 3 and out and you're giving the ball to Patrick and that group,
and the defense is tired, no rest. That's my point. What I was saying earlier, the offense got to help the defense out too. That's all. That's the only point I was saying on 50-50.
Going for it on 4th downs too now.
Yes, all of that.
I'm not putting it in. No offense to Matt Gay. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, no.
Exactly.
It's 4th and 2 and I'm at 48. I'm
going forward.
Long so much.
We need to find the next Brandon
third down
Aubrey.
efficiency, because it's always 36, 37.
Yeah. 3rd and 8.
We get in 3rd and 4, 3rd and 2, so we can get in 4th and 2, 4th and 1.
we get a
and I'm also putting into my playbook.
In Cliff,
and I told you guys, I think I mentioned this to you last week. I don't know if the number dropped or went up. Probably went up. But going into the Dallas game, they were in shotgun 87% of the time.
I was going to ask about that.
With Jaden under center is like 92%. They never put him under center. When you have 3rd and 1, 2nd, man, just hike the ball and go to an angle. Go to the side of Tyler. Get the first down, and then you can do cute stuff. Just get the first down. It cost them against the Bears.
It did. But like, asking in Cliff's defense, though, it's hard for him to cook without all the ingredients, though, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. He can't. You can't see his whole playbook if his stars ain't there. And I think he had been expressing that even in training camp.
Oh,
it's hard to get it going without Terry out there.
Happy for sure.
Yeah.
But you know what? We're just talking about a yard. I don't need you to have an expansive playbook. Right. I need you to not have a playbook, because I just need you to hike the ball and go forward. Your quarterback 6'3". Get the first down. Yeah. And then you can extend that and you can open up your playbook if you're continuously getting downs.
We're talking about the running backs.
It's bailing your defense out by getting those first downs, because they stay off the field. They're on the field an awful lot.
Way too much.
If you look at the time of possession in these games, opposing offenses are in the high 30s against these guys.
Yeah.
They're controlling more than half the clock in these games. And that's surprising considering the big plays. That tells you even more. It's more like being in the high 40s offensively. If offenses have the ball 36 to 37 minutes a game on these guys, and yet they're still having explosive plays, bro, that means the defense is on the field the whole game. So got to fix that. Run the football. Fall in love with it. If it's not cute, but it's working, I don't care if they run the ball 60 times and it just looks boring. But if it's working, I'm gonna Bill and Jeremy and Krista, their tongues are hanging out their mouth.
Add lane to it. Debo.
Brad, I'm not gonna let Cliff off the hook, man. I mean, even though we don't have all the ingredients, we still can draw up some better plays for some of the guys that we have.
But I'm not letting him off the hook either. But going back to the Chicago game, they had 6 and 7 guys on the line just bringing it. They was just bringing it. They didn't even care about
from the start of the game.
They didn't care about the receivers. They were just bringing it. So having Terry and Debo back, just their presence alone may help.
Oh yeah,
even if they're not productive, their presence may help. But against Chicago, even Dallas,
they was just
bringing it from the jump.
Yeah,
Debo,
but it's like
he was
back up. If you see Terry Debo on the other side, you clearly are going to have defense now having to cover 2.
Yes.
Yep.
They're not
key off of them, rather key off the running back.
Yeah.
I think,
man, I'm telling you, when we were up in the press box, I'm like, I haven't seen too many defenses look like this. They literally were running almost a 9-man front.
Yes.
And they get back in one corner because Cliff wasn't spreading it. He always had tight formations with one receiver. I'm like, oh my God. If you don't
got in at the third tight end, you know that's what I'm playing.
They had
nobody in motion.
5 down linemen and 4 linebackers. Like they could touch their backs. That's how close they were. And he was trying to run straight up the middle.
Yeah,
every time.
Again,
it blew my mind.
I say I try not to question the IQ of a coach because they know more football than I could draft on Madden. But the point is, I also know a little, just this much to know if I see something that you're seeing the same thing, you know the other opposing teams coaches are seeing it as well. That's all we're saying. Give us something different for a chance.
I mean, you got
we're gonna wrap it up. It's 7 o'clock.
Wow.
2 hours.
Beautiful. We did good. Thank you. Tell your wife I appreciate her.
That's your fault, That's your fault.
I'll enjoy your weekend.
It is. I love you guys. I love doing this. This is
me too. I love it.
This makes my week, just to get a different perspective. So
got everybody out there in the dark.
Let's enjoy the weekend.